We're finally gonna do it. Morrison and I have been talking about this for like a year or something? No, a little less than a year. When we did the 100 chicken legs, we said, what's next? We gotta do more curry. We love it. So what came to mind? Brisket. Curry brisket. And this is the day that we are actually gonna make it. So let's go. Of course, it all starts with a beautiful brisket. This is a Wagyu brisket. Look at this thing, absolutely insane. It still has a lot of fat on it, but we're going to leave it as it is. We want all of that goodness on this brisket. The secret about what we're cooking is actually the curry paste. It all starts with fresh ingredients. We got 2 chopped whole onions, 4 sliced chili peppers, a big chunk of chopped up ginger, and 15 chopped up cloves of garlic. 2 tiny cans of tomato puree, some garam masala spices, salt, and olive oil. Now let's fire up our pan and start cooking. First I'm gonna put some oil in the pan, and don't be shy with that oil. Once that's hot, we're gonna add onion, add some more oil if needed. We really wanna fry these onions and we wanna expel as much fluid as we can, turning them nice and golden brown. That's what I'm talking about. Now we can add our garlic and our ginger and our chilies. Some more oil. Once you can see that most of the moisture is gone, we're going to add the tomato puree. We're also gonna fry this until all of the moisture is gone, together with our beautiful spices. Once your tomato paste turned nice and brown and most of the moisture is expelled, we're going to add our garam masala. Now that our curry paste turned dark brown and dry, I'm going to add salt. For this amount, I'm going to add around 2 tablespoons of table salt. Now that we got this cooled down, we can actually apply it to our brisket. Look at how good this looks. That oil has got so much color and flavor in it. And that's gonna be our marinade. Just rub it in, get it in there. We want that color, we want that flavor. We wanna have it really go into our brisket. And you gotta make sure you get this really cold. Otherwise, you're gonna be spoiling the meat. You don't want your brisket to cook while it's marinating. There we go. Look at how good that looks. Now it's time to pack up our brisket, put a little tinfoil blanket on it, and set it in the fridge overnight. This is insane, look at it. Of course, it looks like marinated meat, but in reality, I opened up this pan, this aluminum pan, and the fragrance that comes off this brisket is insane. It just screams at you, oh man, I wanna eat. Of course we can, we gotta still cook it, but oh my, this is so good. I bet you, when we get the opportunity to smoke this and dry out the outside, we're gonna have the most amazing bark with all of these herbs. So without further ado, we're gonna fire up our masterbuilt smoker and start smoking this brisket. Now setting up the masterbuilt is super easy. As you could have seen, we just put some charcoal in the top. We lit up a fire starter here in the firebox, and then all you need to do is either use the controller right here to set the temperature, but you can also do it on the app. Look, I set it to a temperature of 110 degrees Celsius. We're currently running at around 110, 108, but it's super stable. It went up there in less than 5 minutes and it kept it stable. This is insane, like a computer controlled charcoal smoker. Every time I use one of these smokers, I get so happy because that's exactly what I'm looking for. Now all I need to do is put my brisket in and if you could just smell this, I know it would blow your mind. Plenty of space for our beautiful brisket, 5.5 kilograms. Now I want to make sure that I get all of this marinade on there because it's going to form a beautiful bark. Now we also need to add some smoke flavor, and we're going to do that in our firebox. So open it up and add some smoke wood to it. We're just going to put it in, and this is where the ashes will drop down from the firebox onto the smoke wood and start smoking. Now I'm gonna put my meter thermometer in, stick it in the thickest part of the brisket, making sure that I measure the right core temperature. Then I'm gonna close the lid and let the barbecue run at a temperature of 110 degrees Celsius until our brisket hits a core temperature of 92 degrees Celsius. We've been smoking our brisket now for 5 hours and whoa! It looks so gorgeous. Look at it. Oh, we got that crispy crust on top. So now that we built up this bark, we actually don't want to go any further. We don't want this beautiful brownness to turn into blackness. So this is perfect as it is. We don't need more smoke on it. So we're going to wrap this up. I like to wrap my brisket in butcher's paper. It helps to preserve the bark, and when you wrap it in aluminum foil, the bark tends to get softer. Now of course I want to still keep my eye on the temperature, so I'm going to insert the meter thermometer through the butcher's paper. Don't worry about creating a leak or anything, this won't affect your brisket. Now let's put the brisket back on the masterbuilt. What a beauty. I really want to make sure I tuck that butcher's paper underneath that brisket so it seals off properly. Let's close the lid, and this is a great moment to check if we still have enough charcoal left. The charcoal's almost gone, so we need to refill it. Now I'm going to let my brisket continue to cook until the core temperature of 92 degrees Celsius. I get the question a lot, what's the cooking time? You'll never know. Every cut of meat is different. I can just give you an indication. We just spent the last 5 to 6 hours building up that bark. Now we're waiting for it to be fully done. I'll let you know when that is. My meter thermometer just gave me the notification. The brisket is done. We hit the core temperature of 93 degrees Celsius. And now I'm taking it off. And our brisket has been on the barbecue for another 3 hours. There we go. Now I'm putting it in the box. Close the lid. And you see how much faster it goes when your brisket is actually wrapped. In total we have 9 hours in now, and now we're gonna put in another hour for resting our brisket. And while the brisket is resting, all of the juices are flowing back into the right direction, the tension of the muscle is releasing, and we're gonna end up with a beautiful, juicy and tender brisket. Now that is a good looking brisket, but that's not what's going on here. The fragrance, it's been nagging at me the whole day. I got this whiff of smell of beautiful curry beef. My mouth just going crazy, and I almost already off camera ate a piece because I couldn't resist myself. But me and Morrison, we have kind of like a pact. You don't eat the first bite off camera because that's when the magic happens. So I'm not gonna wait any longer. I'm gonna pick my slice, and I want a beautiful one. I want one that has a lot of crust and a beautiful amount of beef, a little bit of fat. All right, I'll do the stretch test. For the brisket freaks out there, look at that, and look at this. And let's go for that bite. This is not your ordinary brisket.
That's one crazy bark.
You know, normally you would have like the salt and pepper character, but now you got the curry character. And it totally changes up everything. If you like had enough of brisket, eating brisket and cooking brisket, or going out and eating brisket, make this. It like changes the whole brisket game.
Like, it's kind of confusing because you lose sense of what culinary kitchen you're eating from. I don't know where I am actually. It's like the whole world comes together. That's world peace right here.
This is literally the first time that I made it, and it's a good idea. It might be like something that I wanted to work on a little longer, tweak it, So like within a year or so, you might be able to expect a version 2 of it. But if this is the base version, this is going to change the whole brisket game. You know, we just opened Pandora's box. Like in the Netherlands, brisket is not a thing. Amongst barbecues, this is a thing in the Netherlands. But if like in Europe, like you can't pull up to like a barbecue restaurant or like stand in line or things like that. It's not. No. Maybe we might have one or two like those restaurants,
but there's no line.
There's no line.
Trying to say is that
we gotta do more.
Yeah, but it's like for a while we were saying brisket is just salt and pepper.
Yeah, but it's so boring.
Yeah. But I still agree because it was a substitution for all those briskets with this generic barbecue rub.
I agree.
And then I would go for salt and pepper.
But
there's more to life.
But the idea of having like the Nashville hot brisket,
that's a whole different ballgame. Because this is a whole different ballgame. This is.
Well, what brisket would you like? If you could have any brisket, any mad fantasy brisket, what is the one that you would pick? Let me know what your favorite style of crazy out of this world brisket would be. Forget about the salt and pepper. You can't comment salt and pepper in the comments. That's like illegal in this comment section. Yeah, oh, make the best one. That's a good idea. See, that's why I have Marcin around. Because he has great hair and he has good ideas. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Big thank you to our patrons and the YouTube members. Well, let us know what you think of it by leaving us big thumbs up or comment down below and no salt and pepper. And see you guys next time. Until then,
eet smakelijk.
And keep on grilling.